Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've moved location a bit because I realised the lighting was so bad in my room, so I've moved to the kitchen, but again the lighting's not so great here either, so hopefully it'll be a little bit clearer though. Today I'm going to be talking about another really famous series that's become popular especially in places such as Europe and America, and that is of course Naruto. These kinds of series I got into quite late. I was more of a follower of slightly kind of less popular manga, which I just sort of picked up in Japan. But I'm always like, I always try and see what's popular and read it and form an opinion on it. So of course I read the first few volumes of Naruto. Obviously it's really good because it's done incredibly well. Although I have heard some people say that the anime is actually better than the comic, but I haven't actually seen the anime, so I can't be the judge of that. However, what I can be the judge of is of course the drawing and artistic style, which is what I want to base my channel on and what I will be talking about. I'm going to assume if you clicked on this link that you already know what Naruto is about. It's kind of like a similar plot to One Piece in a way, where Naruto and Ruffy are kind of both kind of exiled a little bit. They're kind of the weirdos of the town. They have to sort of struggle to kind of find acceptance and things like that. So, while Naruto is trying to be like the best ninja in the world, One Piece is trying to be the best pirate in the world. So I can see a lot of parallels there. Another good parallel is, of course, they're both published by Shonen Jump. In my other video, I said that they've both been going on for about 10 years. Now, I've looked us up now, and I know that One Piece has been going on since 1997, and this has been going on since 2000. So, yeah. And they've both, both volumes go up to about 70 volumes and things, and they're still carrying on, and there's still a lot of discussion about what's going to happen in the plot. So in terms of artistic style, well, this is the very first one, so, published a long time ago now. You could argue a lot of Photoshop and that kind of development, but when I talk about alterations, I'm mainly referring to, because you can buy those print film things. They're like plastic and you can stick them on the page and form patterns through that. And those are actually, already full in use. And what I'm trying to say is that author, so Masashi Kishimoto, doesn't really use that as much and prefers to kind of draw the patterns in, which is a very kind of classic Shonen Jump style. Well, let's just start from the beginning. A good example of that would be when this opening sequence, this is like the very first page of Naruto, and as you can see, although this is a like a scenery thing, Masashi Kishimoto hasn't actually used a lot of shadows. It's all completely line based, and actually it's only the stuff on the front that he's added a little bit more black and things like this. This is different to One Piece. In One Piece Oda, he very much has a very strong black and white kind of monotone style. Kishimoto doesn't take advantage of much. He prefers kind of shading and not using so much like black block colours, unless it's for things like font, which he does very well. So for example, just as an example in this page, for font, and actually in Japanese that's called beta, when you like colour stuff in like black ink, but the majority of the rest of it is all just kind of very white. And here's just another scene. Just demonstrating what I said earlier about the fact that he doesn't use a lot of shadow, and there's a lot of black blocks to kind of emphasize certain points in the scenery. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Kishimoto's use of lines to depict movement. So just in this scene here where Naruto is kicking his trainer, so this is Naruto. Can you see? Well, firstly, obviously, there's lines going across here to show the direction which Naruto is kicking in. And also there's lines going upwards from the trainer to show that the trainer's going down. But what I want to focus on is how Kishimoto has chosen to emphasize the fact that the trainer's moving fast. Can you see that? Well, firstly, can you see the trainer's feet? His feet aren't blurred at all. They're like normal. Well, that's because if you think about it, when you bend down, the only bit which doesn't move are your feet. But all the rest of the parts is Kishimoto's done it, so it's all slightly blurred. Do you see what I mean? So if you look at Naruto, look how clear cut the lines are on him. The trainer, it's all just slightly out. And that's of course done because when something moves fast, it's obviously blurry, it's not focused. And those kinds of little observations Kishimoto does really, really well. As well as, of course, just this black I wasn't sure at first if this was writing, Japanese writing, because I can't actually read this, but these black kind of lines, also I think it's just sort of shadows or something to depict, kind of movement and things like this. It might be a font actually, I'm not really entirely sure, well let me know if you know, but okay, here's just another action sequence. The other thing which Kishimoto does really, really well, which I noticed in actually his later volumes, like I'm not a massive Naruto fan, I like the series a lot, but I haven't, gone into every single chapter because actually there's just so many chapters. Later on, I feel like he gets better at portraying kind of different types of weather. So things like storm, so, wind and rain and fire. He was always good at doing it, but the later volumes he does it even better. But just to sort of show a few examples of that, here's a good one of, just a small one of, wind. And another one where Naruto is doing a curse and he seems to sort of kind of emerge out of the ground. That's also really well done, I think. If you see, like, it's just so... Kishimoto obviously has a really high knowledge of fluids and things like this, like that includes, air, in the sense that he understands how it moves. That's just really, really impressive, I feel. Oh, here's another good one. A good example of dramatic, positioning and the use of dramatic font as well. God, it's so good. Like, the more you I feel like the more you look into these classic Shonen Jump series, and I'm calling them classic because they've been going on for so long, the more you kind of see the amount of effort and the amount of study of, action and the human body that goes into it. And not only that, but of nature as well. Definitely these classic Shonen Jump comics do it the best, I feel. Like, the more more recent series, like something like, Bakuman, I'm just using that as an example, nowhere near as good, I feel. I think maybe, well, that's not an action story, but there seems to be a kind of, a lack of really studying like how the human body moves. The one more thing I just wanted to talk about in terms of his style of his actual characters. Now, what I found interesting is in Kishimoto's case, I feel like they're not very classic manga based. They seem almost kind of graphic novel-y, like, if you know what I mean. So in kind of American comics, not anything by Marvel or whatever, very kind of, they will look kind of realistic, or the people, nobody, like, for example, just to mention One Piece again, well, Rufy being a very good example, he doesn't, do you know what I mean by he looks very cartoony, whilst in Naruto they look more realistic, sort of. I know Naruto's got like weird hair and stuff. I feel like Kishimoto likes kind of classic looking characters more than a very manga style. For example, let's just take Sakura here. Okay, she seems very much, I know she's got quite a large head, but I don't know, like, to me, it doesn't seem 100% manga-like. Like, there seems to be like a slight Western influence there. Now, I know she's like a child in this, so if you take an adult, I guess this isn't the best example, but, in one of his bonus kind of pages, I don't know, it just seems all very in proportion and kind of very American action figure, and that's just what I felt reading through it. Because he obviously doesn't put so much effort into doing kind of fancy eyes and fancy hair and fancy clothes. Very proportioned, clean cut, almost realistic. That's sort of what I felt. Another thing I want to just mention as well is I have a thing about chapter intros. I really like it when the artist puts a lot of effort into, like, for example, something like that. So it doesn't actually do anything in terms of the scene, but, it's just the kind of intro page. I really like it when they put a lot of effort into it, and it's good to see that Kishimoto does put a lot of effort into them, and he especially likes using ink. Well, this would have originally been in colour, but you can see that he's used a lot of different kinds of, like, paint and colours and fluid things, and I say this because some manga artists don't put a lot of effort into it, because they don't need to do these. These don't come in... Well, the colour ones, like, if you read the book versions, if they're in colour, it means they've been published in colour in the Shonen Jump mega volume, which they release every month. But usually they don't have an intro page. Usually it just sort of starts. Like, I don't know if you've ever read the big Japanese comics that it comes in. But the manga artist will actually just draw in the intro page when the book is being published. So sometimes they don't put, you know, as much effort into it, but no, Kishimoto always does, so I really like them. So I just always flip through the intro pages, like that, for example. It's this one, you know. No, I like them, they're good. This one might have been in colour, actually, but yeah, I definitely approve. Another good thing is, actually, I know this is just the Japanese volume, but in the French ones, I just noticed because I just went to this French supermarket once, and they had, French supermarkets are amazing. They have every single volume. You'll never find that in well, I'm from England, so you'll never find that here. It's crazy. Like, they have Naruto 1 to 70, you know, just in the supermarket, and it's amazing. But in those ones, what they had, and for some reason, is they got Kishimoto to redraw like these characters which like his fans had made up. So his fan would have written some kind of squiggly character, right, and he redrew it in like his style, and they were really, really good. Like, I wish the Japanese volumes had them, but they don't. Obviously each publisher kind of treats it differently. I just want to finish there. I hope you find it interesting looking through, like me showing you pages of the book and things like this, because I know reading it online, you get a kind of different perspective on it, even though it might be like a raw scan or whatever. I hope you found my points kind of valid. Or flicking through it again, no, sorry. I keep doing this, I keep flicking through it. That's fire. Yeah, oh, it's just really, really good. I actually found this funny page earlier. It's actually Naruto and One Piece being advertised in the same place. So obviously my comparisons aren't new. Yeah, well anyway, I hope you enjoyed this post. I'm going to try and keep uploading more videos, and I'll think about what to review next. Okay, see you, bye!